Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Martinez and this is my presentation on predatory pricing. First off, what is predatory pricing? Predatory pricing is pricing with the intentional decision to price a product or a service lower than what it costs to produce with the intent of pushing out competition or preventing new competition from entering the market. Predatory pricing, and I have something I took from another paper that I liked that talked about the predator. The predator seeks not to win the field by greater efficiency, better services, or lower prices or modest profits. The predatory firm tries to inhibit others in ways independent from the predator's own ability to perform efficiently in the market. Its conduct is calculated to impose losses on other firms, not garner gains for itself. So in other words, predatory pricing is 100% the intent of pushing out competition to create a monopoly or to prevent new competition from entering the market. Is predatory pricing illegal? It seems fairly simple that it is, but it's not as cut and dry as that. There are several laws that have been enacted in the past that make predatory pricing illegal. These laws are the Sherman Antitrust Act, the Clayton Act, the Federal Trade Commission. These laws were designed to protect the competitiveness and competition in the U.S. market by outlining non-competitive actions to prevent development of monopolies. A little bit more in depth, the Sherman Act. This act outlaws all contracts, contributions, and conspiracies that unreasonably restrain interstate and foreign trade. This includes agreements upon competitions to fix price, rig bids, and allocate customers, which are punishable as criminal felonies. The Clayton Act. This act prohibits mergers or acquisitions that are likely to lessen competition. This act allows the government to challenge mergers that might increase prices for customers. And the Federal Trade Commission Act. This act prohibits unfair methods of competition for interstate commerce. One of the biggest examples that I found that I liked to talk about for predatory pricing was the 90s price wars when it came to airfare. In the 90s, large airlines controlled a majority of hubs across the nation. This led to smaller carriers to speak out against the actions of these larger airlines when they started pricing the same and even lower fares as their rivals. This was a big deal because any small airline is already getting less than what the major ones are. And in this specific example, these other airlines, such as Northwest Airlines, Delta, and United, were pricing it the same as Spirit and Pro Air and several other companies, and taking away their market share and even adding in flights on Spirit and Pro Air's routes to try and take away those customers. And the reason that it was a great example of predatory pricing is that the prices seesawed up and down. When they would only lower their prices when they knew that they had a competing flight at the same time to the same destination. If the next day the competitor wasn't flying the same way, their price would raise. So they had the ability to choose when and how they moved their prices up and down. Predatory pricing abroad. This predatory pricing is not just a problem in the United States or with the United States industries. We have to worry about it coming from all around. And I did another paper in another class with China and their economy and with the way that we are, and I had great insight into this already. We've been at odds with China on pricing for decades. They're continually trying to undercut domestic producers by providing cheaper options at almost everything in the market. And China's been able to do this by what their government does. They provide subsidies to any kind of industry that they want to try and take control of, and lower the price of production by doing this and make it easier for them to enter the market. In conclusion, predatory pricing is something that every company needs to be aware of and keep an eye out for. This strategy undermines fair competition in the free market and drives smaller producers out into situations that they don't want. The government needs to be more active in the role to curb these actions by predatory companies. And as consumers as well, we need to be aware of these things and try to keep an eye out for them. It's not just about the best deal. We need to be supporting companies that have the lookout for us. Thank you.